My name is Roderick Lucas and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Moonlit.ai. Let me show you what our product is all about. Moonlit is a cross-border legal research platform. It has been internally developed by Deloitte in the Netherlands by the Tax and Legal Department to find winning argumentation on harmonized topics in the EU law. It has been working for over years within Deloitte internally, but it's also commercially ready. We identify as a legal tech B2B SaaS application, and we focus mainly on international law firms. We are unique in the legal market because we cover all jurisdictions in Europe and also all fields of law. So we have a lot of data and we apply artificial intelligence on top of that data to find multilingual patterns between cases, to translate your search queries, to identify citations from one case to another, and to answer all your legal questions with legal answers and footnotes. Let me show you. But first, why would you need EU cross-border legal research? In other words, why would you want to know what happens in other jurisdictions in the EU rather than only looking at your own? Well, more and more laws are harmonized, meaning that at the European level they get decided on. That can be regulations or directives, and depending on what they are, they apply directly or indirectly to you as citizens. Now it becomes way more valuable to know what the winning argumentation in other countries have been on harmonized topics. Harmonized topics could be tax law, customer protection, environmental law, but also, for example, the GDPR, the data protection regulation. So how do you keep track of all the changes and all the implementations and all the effects in case law across all those countries and across all these languages? That is where Moonlit comes in. Let me show you how we do it. So our website can be found on Moonlit.ai, and we try to publish as much information regarding our coverage and our features on our public website. So all the countries here in purple is the countries where we have coverage, and here on the left we give a more detailed overview of what those countries entail currently in our system. So let me focus down on my own country, the Netherlands, where we have case law coming from two different public sources, but we also have the legislation of the Netherlands, and we also cover administrative decisions such as the competition authority. For another country, for example Germany, we do exactly the same. We have case law from different endpoints, but also the Bundeskartellamt, which is the competition authority of Germany. So we bring it all together in one platform, and to do so you can click here on Go to Platform to immediately enter the platform. As I am signed in, you can see here on the left all the jurisdictions which are currently in our coverage, so they correspond with the map we have seen earlier, and all the fields of law. And that is also what makes us kind of unique, so we cover both all the jurisdictions and also all fields of law, ranging from indirect tax to employment law to, let's say here, ESG frameworks. So that is all integrated in one solution. Earlier in this demo, I mentioned the data protection regulation. So let's take that because it's harmonized as an example. Let me search for data protection. And if I search for data protection, English search query, I also get mostly English documents, such as the court cases and other documents from the European Union, from the UK, from the Council of Europe and Ireland. So mostly Anglo-Saxon countries, or at least English written documents. We can immediately turn this into a more international query, for example by pressing German here, where it automatically translates data protection into Datenschutz. And now we see that the cases we find are from Austria, Germany, Switzerland, and from Belgium, and some from the European Union. We can do this for all the different languages we have in our system. So it now automatically translates it into the best translation it can find for all the languages which we currently cover, and we can extend the list obviously. And if you do not agree with one of the translations, you're free to edit it and update your search. So now you can really do an international search query across all languages. This is a huge query because it's doing it in so many different languages across so many documents from all these jurisdictions. So that might take a while, but eventually, and let's say within 10 seconds, it will give you the results from Europe as a whole, looking at the words data protection. And there it is. It found more than 10,000 hits because of all the different translations. But the cool thing is it automatically ranked it based on importance. And to do that, it's looking into incoming citations of other documents. In other words, which documents are making a reference to other documents. Those documents which get those citations, they will be boosted to the top. And as a result, we indeed see that the General Data Protection Regulation, the GDPR, which is one of the most important documents which you will which you want to find if you're searching for data protection, is here at the top. And we created this ranking algorithm together with the different lawyers from both Deloitte, the university, and external lawyers. And for now, it has been found to work perfectly. So let's click on the GDPR to explore the document a little further. So we see this regulation is here together with all the metadata which we receive. There are some identifiers, source types, everything we receive from the source. We add fields of law labels and topic labels ourselves. So we do that with an AI algorithm which reads all the documents and automatically adds labels to what the document is all about. So you can quickly use this as a filter as well in your search queries. The GDPR is in its fully in the document is here as well, so you can read it if you would like. But I think what is the most important functionality, the incoming citations button. If we click that, we can directly see which documents make a citation to the GDPR coming from all these different jurisdictions. So let me zoom in on German cases, for example. I can click on Germany and only let's say that I am interested in cases which make a reference to Facebook. And let me say that I'm not interested in administrative decision from the Bundeskartellamt, but only in court cases. And I only want to see them from the Supreme Courts. So now only court cases from Germany citing to the GDPR from the Supreme Court mentioning Facebook. So as you can see, I have found 6 results, and my German is not fluent, but luckily we have AI head notes which are generated by our own AI, which automatically translates the documents into English and summarizes the entire document. And that gives us quite an indication of what the case could be about. So let me look at this case. Well, it mentions the GDPR a couple of times, so that could be of interest. Let's dive into the document. As we are in the document, also here we can see the entire text. As you can see, it is in German, but besides the AI head note, we also have an English, more lengthy AI generated summary. And that one zooms into the legal issues, the fact pattern of this case, what the party submitted, the decision, the reasoning behind the decision, and the procedural history. This one is in English, but we can translate it into all the languages which we like. And so both this AI head note, which we created ourselves, and the AI summary are applicable to all 9 million documents which we have in our system. So this is the case in full in German, but also here we could translate it into each and every language which we like to see. Here on the top we have some document actions. We can share the document. In that case, we get on our clipboard a URL to the case. You can add it to your favorites. You can cite the case, so you can use it in academic articles which you're writing. We always refer back to where we got our case from. So this is the original case from the German data source which we used. You can add it into a folder. This folder you can share with your colleagues. And of course we added a lot of AI in this folder as well. So you and your colleagues can start working on a client file, in this case about a GDPR. And if you're working on this file, the file will also create, or the folder will create suggestions of cases which look alike to the common denominator of all the cases which you put in that folder already. So it's enhancing your search query in that respect. And lastly, we can enable highlights. And in that case, it is highlighting the most important sentences throughout the document. And it's doing it in such a way that it's constantly checking each and every sentence and comparing that to every other sentence. So, and it's deciding on whether it added information to the knowledge which we already had or did not have. So that way we decide which cases contain the most information. Those are highlighted and it functions as like a quick read for your entire document. If you're reading a lot of documents, what you might want to do is ask Luna for some extra information throughout the document. What it does, you can actually chat with the document. So you can ask all the questions which you like to see here, but it also suggests some other some other questions based on the document it saw. So we can ask these questions: what are the specific allegations made by the plaintiff regarding the defendant's actions? And it will give you answer to that specific question, in this case in German, because it's a German document. And also, after answering this question, it will automatically generate follow-up questions for you. So you can dive deeper into the answer it gave you, or you can again ask your own question again, and then it will continue answering your part of the question. Okay, let's close that. Let's scroll to the top. And if we found documents from other law firms and which make a citation to this court case, we list them here. In this case, it's a small case, so that's not the case, but we have coverage over 50 large law firms in Europe, and if they make a citation on one of their blogs to a case, we list them here. What we do also with AI, we check which documents look most like the one which we were just reading. So if you like the one which we were just reading, then also check out the other cases. And we do this cross languages. So we compare this German case to the cases we have in our system from all the other jurisdictions as well. So this case looks most like this Belgium case, or this European case, another Belgium case, or a Dutch case. And from the meta tags which we added to it, indeed you can see that they are all about information processing. So it's already making a good connection between those different languages and the content of their cases. Then lastly, what we do, we generate timelines. And how we do that, we scan the entire text for events, what happened in the case, and we try to find the timestamp next to it. And that way we generate timelines for lawyers, so you can quickly see what the progress of a case has been. So this is about the case itself. And of course you can also export this to Excel and maybe make some adjustments if the AI went wrong somewhere. Okay, let me go back to our original search query. So we had German cases from the Supreme Court having a citation to the GDPR mentioning Facebook. So what now can happen is that cases from different fields of law end up in your search results because they match all the criteria. But let's say that you're only interested in the question, what is the most important law mentioned in this case? Well, if you ask that question, now all the court cases now, they have the answer to this question. So you see, and we can do that for all 6 results, of course. This one has the most important law mentioned is the German Act Against Restraints of Competition. So that was not really in our field of interest. But the second one here, the most important law mentioned, was the GDPR. So the document which we were looking into indeed probably had the most important information. And you can ask all kinds of questions. So also, were penalties imposed? Who won? The authorities or the party being sued? All kinds of questions can be asked here. It's reading into the document to find that answer and only into that document. So it's proof of hallucination. Now, let's say you want to be notified if new cases with citations to the GDPR from Germany at the Supreme Court and mentioning Facebook, if new cases arise tomorrow. what you can do here is you can create an alert. You can say, well, this is my GDPR Germany alert, and I want to be notified on a daily basis if new cases come out. I can create an alert, and you will automatically receive an email message if such a case comes out tomorrow, next week, or next month. We got you covered. So we were still doing quite keyword-based searching here. So we searched for Facebook, etc. We created an alert, but that's still kind of an old-fashioned way of searching. We opened up the entire space with all the jurisdictions, but now with the current state of AI, what we can also do is we can ask plain English questions, or it doesn't even have to be English, plain legal questions to the machine. I just asked an example question. Can a government have a duty of care regarding climate change? And what it's doing now, it's going through all our documents, setting aside documents where it thinks it can find an answer, read those documents, and then come up with an answer to your question, and do also the cross-border legal analysis for you. So, can a government have a duty of care regarding climate change? And it's answering yes, a government can have a duty of care regarding climate change, and starting to break down the different elements it found through the documents which we fed the system. And while it's answering, it says here, well, for example, human rights law has a certain perspective on that. And for the answer which I gave around human rights law, I used document number 1, which is a German court case. You can click this German court case and see whether you agree with the machine. So that is the new way of doing legal research, and we are really excited about it. I hope you enjoyed this demo. If there are any questions, please send a message to Roderick@Moonlit.ai, and I try to get back with you within the same working day. So let me know. Excited to join with you the future of legal research. Bye-bye.